Hello everyone, welcome to Analysistrends. I'm Rupam. I'm currently demoing you the very first experience about learning the BA concepts from the BA simulation tool platform, and I hope definitely you will like this. So there is a platform we have launched it called BA Simulation Analysis Trends. Here you can go ahead and select continue or learn concepts from the left pane. Once you are in the learn concepts, you have three options for you to choose. We are going to do the beginner level understanding of multiple, what you can say, areas as a BA to understand how individual skill or the topic is been covered in understanding the business analysis. So we are starting with understanding business need as a beginner level, and this video is all about understanding business need part 1. And we have 5 topics in this, like identifying business goals, problem opportunities, understanding why change is needed, and then evaluate potential value of the solutions. So in this video, we're going to cover the topic 1, identifying business goals and challenges, and then take it further with different view and see how this can help us. Cool. Let's get started. Make sure that you stay till the end so that we understand how to use this, read this, and how does it actually make sense for you to even go further. So once I am in this particular view, I can click on enter learning mode, which will give me enough space in order to concentrate and learn. So now we are talking about understanding business need as a first topic when you're working as a business analyst. So the first most important thing that you do in understanding business need is identifying business goals and challenges. Now, what do you learn in this? We will learn to uncover what business truly needs and why. So, why do we need to identify business goals and challenges? So, without clearly understanding business need, you will build solutions that miss the mark, wasting time and resources on future features that nobody asked for. So this lead to a frustrated stakeholder, rejected proposals, and project that fail to deliver value. So we are here in order to understand what exactly business want, what exactly the need of the solution that need to be delivered so that it don't end as a dead product. Okay. Now, what else we have in order for you to understand it better? We have 5 pillars that will help you. The first pillar is a performance matrix that helps you to measure if requirements align to the actual business goals or not. The second pillar is the communication skills that ensure that you ask the right discovery questions to uncover hidden needs. And the third is the tools and the techniques that are required in order to do this activity. The fourth is your ethics. Keep you honest about the feasibility, the manager's expectations. And the last one is change management. How do you prepare yourself for the stakeholder resistance, which needs conflicts if wanted, and you need your conflict management technique in order to handle it. So let's get into individual, understand the matrix, then other 5 pillars, and use the floating window towards the right. You see, in order to better understand the whole concept of identifying business goals and challenges. This is someone uh, for the one who is just starting their career in a BA, even if you're a fresher, even if you're a student. So feel free that you can stay connected with this and learn from it. So first one we'll see the measuring success. How to track a business goal. So at a beginner level, you learn to define success metrics early. Okay. Every business goals need measurable outcomes. Okay. As a business analyst, you help translate the vague objectives into specific and trackable metrics. So every business have goals and they want to achieve their goals. So those goals are turned into objectives, and now we are making sure that those objectives are tracked and are actually being traced. So if I go with an example, so e-commerce company wants to improve the customer experience. Now e-commerce want to improve the customer experience is the goal. The key takeaway is we need to make sure that we are using this as a goal and they want to improve the experience at very high level. That's our KPI, one of the KPI where we can use it. The key points that comes under the measures and the performance that we need to be considering and focusing on is the KPIs or OKRs. What is KPI? KPI is key performance indicators. They are specific, measurable values that shows how well you are achieving business objectives. Like examples for KPIs would be revenue growth, customer satisfaction score. What are OKRs? OKRs are objectives and key results that combines ambitious goal with measurable outcomes. Examples like objective becoming market leader. The key result is basically achieving 40% of market share. NPS score is above 70. So those are your objectives and your key results. So these are the two metrics that we need to define in order to track your business objectives and make sure that we track our business goal. Now, how to identify measurable outcomes? Start by asking, how will we know we succeeded? Convert vague goals into numbers. Instead of improving sales, use increase monthly sales by 15%. We cannot directly measure that we will increase the sale. That's our target. No, we should have a target number. Use increase monthly sales by 15%. Use a smart framework that is specific. It's a clear target. Measurable that can be tracked. Achievable, realistic, relevant, aligns with the strategy, and then time bound, has deadline. So the smart frameworks help to define your objectives. Next is tracking progress using dashboards. So once you have the goals defined, then we'll have a dashboard is a visual display of your key metrics in one place. Think it's like your car dashboard showing speed, fuel, temperature, same as business dashboard show revenue trends, customer growth, project status. So use a simple tool like a spreadsheet or a software like a Tableau or Power BI to create a visual chart that updates automatically, which really makes sense. Next is understanding baseline matrix. A baseline is your starting point, where you are now before making any changes. You must measure your current performance first in order to understand where are you standing. Example, if current checkout abandonment ratio is 35%, that is your baseline. So today, card abandonment ratio or the percentage is 35. Your goal might be to reduce it by 20%. So without a baseline, you cannot measure improvements or prove return of investment, right? So by this, we have understood that business goals need to be defined. A high level business goal need to be then defined with objectives. The objectives need to be very clear using smart framework in order to measure and track them. In order to track them, we have multiple ways we can track. But before even we track, we need to have a baseline that helps in order to make sense that how much are we increasing or improving from a current position. We have quick tips with respective the performance and improvement pillar. We can use the smart criteria that we have learned. Always ask how will we know if we have succeeded or not, and use before and after comparison. Okay, the stakeholders involved here are as per the topic. The topic here is understanding business need. So we need to be involving all these people while you understand the business need, right? The practice sessions you can go and do in order to make sure that you have a right matrix defined. Use SWOT analysis and smart framework. So now as we have learned about performance and improvement that we need to be doing in order to uncover the business goals and challenges, but how do we communicate? So if I now switch myself into a second pillar called communication, it'll help me to understand how do I need to even reach out to the stakeholders and ask about their goals. So as a beginner BA, ask the right question to uncover true business needs. Stakeholder often express solutions instead of goals. So they'll say that I need an app, but why? How do you know that you need an app? Your job is to listen actively and probe deeper. So we have multiple points that we need to discuss during communication. The first one is use the 5 why techniques. The 5 why helps you deep digger into the problems by asking why 5 times. Example, A problem like customers complain checkout is slow. So the checkout where the user is purchasing something online, the checkout process is slow. The first question is why. We'll get an answer like too many firms feel. Yes, it might be possible that user must be asked to enter lot and lot of details. But again, next why will say that we are asking for billing and shipping separately. Why is another question. Our system required separate entries. That's another problem. Why? Legacy database design. So the database cannot be merged and they are separate for billing and then separate for shipping. Again, why? No one have updated in last 10 years. That's the reason we are using the legacy system. So the root cause is not that there are many forms. The root cause is also not that there are multiple inputs that a user need to be given. The root cause is the outdated database, not just too many fields. Because if you update a database and if a one single field like the billing field and the billing address can be replicated in shipping address with a simple toggle that copy billing address as a shipping address will solve the problem and will faster the checkout process. That's one way. So asking, here we are talking about communication. So we need to ask these kind of questions to the stakeholders with respect to 5i technique. Next is practice active listening. Active listening means fully concentrating on what the stakeholder says, not just waiting for your turn to talk. It's not like you are just waiting for them to finish and then you can talk. No, completely listen, focus 100%. The techniques that we use is repeat back what you have heard. So what I'm hearing is ask clarifying question. Can you give an example? Take notes, avoid interruptions, watch body language for hidden concerns. Next is ask open-ended question. Now, when you are communicating, when something that need to be understood, something that you need to be finding out from a hidden source, you cannot ask closed-ended question. Now, what is open-ended question? Open-ended question cannot be answered with yes and no. When you ask question like open-ended, the answer definitely you can expect is more than one or two lines. They encourage stakeholder to share more. Good. Like what challenges are you facing with the current process is a good way of asking the question. That will actually not be answered in yes or no. It will be a more elaborated way. But if you ask something like, is your current process working? So other examples here would be, how would success look to you? What concerns do you have? Walk me through a typical scenario. That will actually bring more of a valuable answer rather than just yes or no. Next is document goal in stakeholder words. So use an exact language stakeholder use, not a BA jargon initially. If they say we need to stop losing customers, write that first, right? Then work on them to refine it. Let us define stop losing customers. Do you mean reducing churn from 15 to 10%? That's an actual BA jargon. But first you understand what are they mean, what the meaning is. So the build this will build the trust and ensure you understood correctly before translating into a formal requirement. So we have an example here that we can read about. A stakeholder says we need a mobile app. The impact is you ask, what problems are we solving? This reveals enable field technicians to log works order offline. So when we ask some right questions, the answers reveals which is actually a problem which only stakeholders will identify, but they will never say you unless you ask them in a right way. They will say you, but it's like moreover asking them the right questions. Okay. The quick tips for you when you are communicating with the stakeholders regarding any business needs or objectives. Schedule one-on-one meeting first. Use help me understand phrases as a as a starting point. Then documents goals immediately. Do not delay it. Okay. Next, we'll move into tools and techniques that we can use in order to capture the business goals. So the first one, we'll start with a simple proven techniques. You do not need a complex software here. The key is consistency and clarity. The key points, there are multiple tools and techniques that we can use. The first one is a SWOT analysis. You might already know what is SWOT. The SWOT stands for strength, weakness, opportunities, and threats. Strength and weaknesses are internal, what you control. Opportunities are the threats that are external, that market conditions define. Examples of strength are strong brand, weakness is outdated tech. Opportunities can be growing online market. Threat could be a new competitor into the market, and we use a 2 into 2 grid to organize. So for anyone who want to understand the internal and external factors, they can use SWOT analysis in order to find out the strength and weakness, opportunity and threats. Next is goal mapping diagrams. A goal map is a visual tree showing how big goal break down into smaller goal, like a functional decomposition matrix. We have business model canvas. The business model canvas is one page template showing 9 key elements of a business, stakeholder segments, who you serve, and value proposition, who you offer, and channels, how you deliver. It's very clear that as a beginner level, as a business analyst, you will not be able to use all the techniques as one. So what have we done? We have selected this here. If you basically select any of these models, let's say if I select business model canvas, it will take you to a technique called business model canvas. It will explain you what exactly a business model canvas would do, and you can go ahead and practice the business model canvas technique with a given scenario here and test yourself. For now, I just don't want to get into that, but rather get into learning concept what have we started with. So let me go back to the business need, and we were in the techniques and tools. We are completing the other techniques. So the the quick tip here is start simple, use visual aids, use templates that are most reusable. Okay. Next is ethics. Ethical consideration when capturing business needs are most important. Remain neutral and transparent first of all. Your role is to facilitate, your role is to initiate, not push your agenda. Build trust through honesty and confidentiality. The first key point is neutrality. Do not take sides. As a BA, you are a facilitator, not an advocate for one department over another. If sales want feature X and engineering team says it's too complex, your job is to present both perspectives objectively, not to argue for one side. Stay neutral. Even if you personally agree with one stakeholder, your credibility depends on being seen as fair. So you should make sure that you don't bias. Transparency. Be clear about documentation. Always explain what you are writing down and who will see it. Before a meeting, say, I will take notes or I'll be taking notes and sharing them with the project team. Is there anything that you would prefer to discuss off the track? This builds trust. Never surprise stakeholder by sharing something that thought was confidential. Transparency prevents misunderstanding. Next is confidentiality. Protect sensitive information. Stakeholder often share financial data, personal issues, strategic plans. You must keep this information confidential. Do not gossip. Do not share the details that people who do not need to know. If someone asks confidential information, say that I cannot share that, but I can connect with you, appropriate person, then breaching confidentiality destroys reputation. Honesty, admit when you do not know. It's okay that if you say don't know, that's fine, but I will find out a way and get back to you. Do not make up answers or pretend to know something you don't know. So stakeholders respect honesty. If you give wrong information, you lose credibility. Always follow through. If you promise to find out, actually do it and then report back within 24 hours. Okay, so we'll see an example here. So manager asks to prioritize their department. Okay, there's a one conflict here. The response here is I need input from all stakeholders for objective analysis. That's the best way to answer, right? Next is a change management. What exactly change management that helps aligning business goals and objectives readiness. Understanding goal is just a start. Assess if the organization is ready for the change. Learn to identify change impacts early and flag resistance. So first of all, key points. Assess organization readiness. Before proposing new goals, check if the organization can handle them. Is leadership supportive? Do employees have skills? Is there a budget? Is culture open to the change? A conservative, risk averse company may reject ambitious goals. A startup culture may embrace them. Match your goals to organization capacity. If readiness is low, start smaller. Identify change champions. Change champions are enthusiastic supporters who will advocate for the new goals. Look for the influential people who are respected by their peers. They might be formal leaders, managers, informal leaders, senior employees. Recruit them early. Ask, why do you willing to help communicate why the goal matters? Then anticipate resistance. So first of all, people resist to change when they fear losing status, control, and comfort. Who might feel threatened by this new goal? New efficiency goal may worry employee who fear job cuts. Sales, right? So many things. Align goal with change capacity. Change capacity is how much change an organization can observe at once. If the company just went through a merger, do not pile five new strategies goal. People are exhausted. Pick one or two critical goals. So let's see an example. Automate data entry to save time. That's one change that a system wants to do. So impact is 20 clerks may fear job loss. Suggest retraining programs. So we should make sure that it should not become a threat that we change anything in the system or company brings change. We should make sure that where the change management should come in picture and how can we tackle it. The quick tip here is ask who will be affected. Identify the WIFM for each group and flag high risk changes early. So this is all about identifying business goal and challenges in this topic 1, which we have just completed with all the 5 pillars. There's one thing for you all guys as you have watched this till end. If you really like this and you feel that yes, it is valuable to you, just comment out in the chat and ask for early access. The one who sign ups with the email ID in like 10 days from the video being launched, I'll guarantee you that I'll give you an early access for the whole website that you can explore. So that's how we learn the learning concept for understanding business goal as a beginner level. What's the difference in intermediate and advanced? Does the topic change? The topics still remain same, but the content has been changed now. As I've switched myself into intermediate, understanding business need with respect to topic 1 will differ completely. How? Because here now we are not talking about the KPIs or we are not even talking about the OKRs, but we are talking about the next level of how do we see the leading and the lagging indicators that will be helpful. So the content itself has been changed drastically because now I have selected an intermediate level. So similar works for the advanced level as well. So you can choose your level. It's like a gear a gear of a sports mode, eco mode, or an ultra turbo mode in a car. It's the same way, it's like a gear. You can select your gear and start learning. So thanks for watching this video. If you really like it, please explore and do it more. There is one small thing I can show. Go to templates, type anything you wanted. Let's say I type car deco and I type sequence diagram generate. You will see that it generates the document within 10 seconds and it will create a nice visual for you with the actual design that will be shown. Give it a second, it'll load now. See ya? Go and explore fast. It's really helpful. Thanks for watching. Stay connected.